please introduce yourself. What is your name, neighborhood, and how long have you lived in Providence?
My name's Scheessele. I live in Oxford Commons with my wife Stephanie and our daughter Hope, and we moved into our house in December of 2017.
Great. So, Keith, with so many options of places to live in Las Vegas, tell us why you chose Providence.
Well, like a lot of people, we relocated from Southern California.
Okay.
The cost of living had a lot to do with that. And we rented a place for a couple of years. And after a couple of years, we kind of learned the lay of the land, the terrain. You know, we had been to Las Vegas many times, but only to the Strip and only to have fun. And ultimately, my wife and I, our dream was to be homeowners. And that's something that's harder and harder to do nowadays. We got to Las Vegas, and in 2 years, we were able to buy a house. We didn't look anywhere else. Now, we lived in the Northwest already, not in Providence, but close. And we were up here all the time. We have friends up here. We very much like our neighbors today. So we didn't look at a whole lot of other places because it was such an easy decision to buy a home here.
Great. So let's talk a little bit about running for the board. Why would you like to be on the board of directors? And if you are elected, what do you see as a priority for the board?
I want to be on the board of directors because I've been involved in various Providence committees for 2 years now. I serve on the design review committee, and I want it down for the record, I've never missed a meeting in 2 years.
Good job.
Yes, 2 years. And I serve a little bit on the neighborhood advisory committee. It's the next logical step. When we moved into our home, I wanted to get involved in any way possible. So the Providence Post came to our house, and I cut the thing out of the back of the magazine, and I just checked the box that said I wanted to be involved. I didn't choose any of those committees. I would have gone out and picked up trash. This is our first home, and it is home. We're gonna be here for a long, long time. So it's the next logical step. I want to be more involved. This opportunity came up. I considered it last year, but we had just had a daughter, so the timing wasn't right, and now we've sort of figured out our routine, and it's the right time to move up.
Great. What do you see as a priority for the board?
The first thing, now having lived here a couple of years, the first thing that always jumps out at me, and I know this is old hat to a lot of people that live here, it's these cars blowing through the four-way stops. And I'm just using that as maybe a vehicle, pun intended, for a greater conversation. I know that problem existed long before we were here. But perhaps now because I have a daughter, I'm thinking about that a little bit more. So safety. And I would say that it probably starts there.
Okay.
I walk the dog twice a day. I take Hope out in the stroller, and I see it every single day. I'm fully aware of where Providence's input ends and maybe the input of the police and others where that begins. I know there's some things we can do, some things we can't. I would like to get more involved in that relationship to see what we can do to make things safer. Number two, I love the events that we have. They're fantastic. Selfishly, I want more and varied. Not that you guys don't do a tremendous job. You do, but I didn't look at it very closely 2 years ago. I'm looking at it very closely now because I have a daughter. And I want her to go to everything and anything, be very involved in the community. Fun stuff, but also stuff that can teach her something, something Stephanie and I can do with her. So I'd like to be very involved in that as well.
Great. So, as you know, there are a lot of moving pieces for a community of our size and running it. What are some of the strengths that you will bring as a board member if you're elected?
My career is in mental health, and I manage about 300 employees.
Wow.
And I have to have relationships with people on the county level, the city level, the state level, the public guardian's office. That's a lot of voices in the same room at the same time. I've learned how to work well with those people to reach a common goal. Brainstorming, creativity, things like that. So I think those skills would be very applicable in a role like this. With that said, if ever I don't think that homeowners are being appropriately advocated for, I have no problem whatsoever turning up the volume because our interests are obviously intertwined.
Right.
Advocacy would be the biggest deal for me, for the homeowners, and how to pull all these various voices and ideas together to reach a common goal.
That's great. So what current challenges do you see the board and or the community facing currently, in addition to those that you've already spoken about? And then what changes would you implement to address those particular concerns?
The number one thing, in my opinion, is that the population growth up here is faster than maybe the services are provided by our first responders, police officers, firefighters. That's to say nothing bad about what they do. They are stretched thin, and I get that. But I would like to develop a relationship with those people so that we can ensure that Providence is getting all those services timely. Because we moved into the final neighborhood in Providence, but man, stuff is moving fast.
Yeah.
And I would really like to create a relationship with those people so that, we continue to make this a great place to live, a safe place to live. I don't know that I see that to be a gigantic problem right now, but left unaddressed, it will only grow.
Okay. And then finally, why should the residents of Providence vote for you?
I think the biggest reason is I'm originally from Indiana. My wife is from California. Nevada is home. And that would hurt our families from those states to hear that.
Right.
We love it here.
Yeah.
We're here for the long term. I know historically, Vegas is thought of as a very transient place. People come in, they're not here long, they leave. We love our house. We love our neighbors. We love Oxford Commons. We love Providence. So when I say we're here for the long term, I'm not just talking about Vegas. I'm talking about Providence, and when we moved in, there wasn't a lot up here, but I mean, there's a grocery store a bike ride away.
Right.
We have a lot of restaurants that we like. It makes it harder to leave because we have everything that we need. So I think people should vote for me because we're going to be here a good long while. And advocacy, I advocate for others at my day job, and I look forward to advocating for homeowners moving forward.
Great. Is there anything else that you'd like to add that you'd like the voters to know?
I'm a Golden Knights season ticket holder.
Okay.
Go Knights, go.
Thank you so much, Keith.
Thank you.